Dr. Wayne Dyer, The Power of Intention. Chapter 10. It is my intention to feel successful and attract abundance into my life. God is able to provide you with every blessing in abundance. St. Paul. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Lao Tzu. One of my secrets for feeling successful and attracting bountiful abundance into my life has been an internal axiom that I use virtually every day of my life. It goes like this: change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. This has always worked for me. The truth of this little maxim is actually found in the field of quantum physics, which, according to some, is a subject that's not only stranger than you think it is, it's stranger than you can think. And it turns out that at the tiniest subatomic level, the actual act of observing a particle changes the particle. The way we observe these infinitely small building blocks of life is a determining factor in what they ultimately become. If we extend this metaphor to a larger and larger particles and begin to see ourselves as a particles in a larger body called humanity, or even larger, life itself, then it's not such a huge stretch to imagine that the way we observe the world we live in affects that world. It's been said repeatedly in different ways. As is the microcosm, so is the microcosm. As you read this chapter, remember this little journey into quantum physics as a metaphor for your life. This being the case, your intention to feel successful and experience prosperity and abundance depends on what view you have of yourself, the universe, and the most important, the field of intention from which success and abundance will come. My little maxim about changing the way you look at things is an extremely powerful tool that will allow you to bring the intention of this chapter into your life. First, examine how you look at things, and then how the spirit of intention does the same. How do you look at life? The way you look at life is essentially a barometer of your expectations based on what you have been taught you're worthy of and capable of achieving. These expectations are largely imposed by external influences such as family, community, and institutions, but they're also influenced by that ever-present inner companion, your ego. These sources of your expectations are largely based on the beliefs of limitation, scarcity, and pessimism about what's possible for you. If these beliefs are the basis for how you look at life, then this perception of the world is what you expect for yourself. Attracting abundance, prosperity, and success from these limiting viewpoints is an impossibility. In my heart, I know that attracting abundance and feeling successful is possible because, as I touched on earlier, I had an early life of enormous scarcity. I lived in foster homes, away from my mother and my absentee, alcoholic, often imprisoned father. I know that these truths can work for you because if they worked for any of us, they can work for all of us, since we all share the same abundant divine force and emanated from the same field of intention. Take an inventory of how you look at the world, asking yourself how much of your life energy is focused on explaining away potentially optimistic viewpoints by preferring to see the inequities and inconsistencies in the abundance for all philosophy? Can you change the way you look at things? Can you see potential for prosperity where you always seen scarcity? Can you change what is by simply changing the way you see it? I say a resounding yes to these questions. And the way to work at changing the way you see things is to take a hard look at something you may not previously considered. How does the universal, all-creating field of intention look at life? The field of intention, which is responsible for all creation, is a constantly giving. In fact, it knows no bounds to its giving. It just keeps on converting pure, formless spirit into a myriad of material forms. Furthermore, this field of intention gives in unlimited supplies. There is no such concept as shortage or scarcity when it comes to the originating source. So we are looking at two major conceptualizations when we think of the universal mind, natural abundance. The first is that it's perpetually giving, and the second is that it offers an infinite supply. The power of intention is perpetually giving and infinite, so it seems obvious that you will need to adopt these same two attributes if you are to fulfill your own personal intention to live successfully and attract abundance into your life. What should you message back to the universe? Be if you want to be abundance and success rather than strive for it. Your source is abundant and you are your source. Therefore, you must communicate this back. Since your source is always serving and giving, and you are your source, then you must be always in a state of serving and giving. This source can only work with you when you are in harmony with it. A message to the field of intention that says, "Please send me more money," is interrupted as you see yourself in a state of scarcity. But this source has no concept of scarcity. It does not even know what not having enough money means. Thus, its response back to you will be, "Here is a state of needing more money because that's how you think. And I am the mind with which you think, so here is more of what you don't want and don't have." Your ego-dominated response will be, "My desires are being denied." But the real truth is, the universal source knows only abundance and giving, and will respond with money flowing to you if your intention is, "I have enough money and I allow what I already have enough of to flow to me." Now, this may appear to be a mumbo jumbo and nothing more than twisting words around, but I assure you that it's exactly how the universal mind of intention operates. The more you get back into gear with that which intended you here, the more you will see that unlimited abundance showing up. Get rid of the concept of shortages, because God hasn't got a clue about such thing. The creative source reacts to your belief in shortages with a fulfillment of your belief. Now, think back to my opening observation in this chapter. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. I can guarantee you that the universal mind only flows in a harmony with its own nature, which is providing endless abundance. Stay in harmony with this nature and all of your desires have to manifest for you. The universe knows no other way to be. If you tell the universal mind what you want, it will respond by leaving you in a state of wanting, never arriving, and always needing more. If, however, you feel that what you intend to manifest has already manifested, you're unified with your intention, never allowing a moment of doubt or listening to naysayers. You'll be in the presence of that all-creating field of intention. You can't come from shortage, you can't come from the scarcity, and then you can't come from wanting. You must come from the same attributes as that which allows everything. This is a key word, allowing. Let's take a look at how allowing is so often ignored in attempts to manifest feeling successful and attracting abundance. The art of allowing. The universal mind of creation is in a constant state of supplying. It never shuts down, it takes no vacations, there are no days off, and it's perpetually giving forth. Everything and everyone, without exception, emanates from this universal mind we are calling intention. So if everything comes from this infinite field of invisible energy, why is that some are able to partake of it, while others seem to be separated from it? If it is always giving forth in an endless stream of abundance, somehow there must be resistance to allowing it to come into your life if you are experiencing shortages or scarcity in any way. Allowing this all-giving source into your life means becoming aware of the resistance that you may be placing in the way of the abundance that's always being supplied. If the universe is based on energy and attraction, this means that everything is vibrating to particular frequencies. When the frequency with which you are vibrating is in contradiction with the frequency of the universal supply, you create a resistance, thereby inhibiting that flow of abundance into your life space. Your individual vibrations are the key to understanding the art of allowing. The non-harmonious vibrations are largely in the form of your thoughts and feelings. Thoughts that emphasize what you don't believe you deserve set up a contradiction in energy. That contradiction puts a stop to a hooking up of identical energies and you creating a field of disallowing. Remember, it's always about being in harmony with your source. Your thoughts can either emerge from a beginness that's in rapport with intention or in contradiction with it. Keep in mind that you are a part of the universal mind. So if you see yourself in a harmonious way with the 7 phases of intention, the universal mind can only work harmoniously with you. For example, suppose that you want a better job with a higher salary. Imagine yourself as already having it, knowing in your thoughts that you are entitled to it, with no doubts about the job showing up because you can see it within. The universal mind now has no choice in the matter since you're part of all creating mind. And there is no vibrational contradiction. So what can go wrong here? The art of allowing gets hampered by your habit of disallowing. There is a long history of countless thoughts that have formed a field of resistance to allowing the free flow of abundance. This habit of disallowing grew from the belief system that you've cultivated over the years and that you rely on. Furthermore, you have allowed the resistance of others to enter this picture, and you surround yourself with the need for their approval in these matters. You solicit their resistant opinions, read newspaper accounts of all those who have failed to manifest their jobs of their choice, examine government reports about the poor job prospects and the declining economy. Watch the television reports belaboring the sorry state of affairs in the world, and your resistance becomes even more convincingly entrenched. You have aligned yourself with the proponents of disallowing. What you need to do is look at this belief system and all of the factors that continue to support it and say, it's too big of a job to change the entire thing. Instead, I'm going to start changing the thoughts that activate disallowing right here, right now. It doesn't matter what you thought before, or for how long, or how many pressures you under to maintain your resistance. Instead, stop activating dissolving thoughts today, one thought at a time. You can do so by stating, I feel successful. I intend to feel the abundance that is here now. Repeat these words or create your arrangement of words, which continually inundate your thoughts during your waking hours with the new belief of being successful and abundant. When you activate these thoughts enough times, they'll become your habitual way of thinking, and you will have taken the steps to eliminating your resistance to allowing. Those thoughts will then become what you say in silent prayer-like messages to yourself. I am success. I am abundance. When you are success itself, when you are abundance itself, you are in harmony with the all-creating source, and it will do the only thing it knows how to do. It will be endlessly giving and forthcoming with that which has no resistance to it, namely you. You are no longer vibrating to scarcity. Your every individual vibrational utterance is in concert with what you summon from your source. You and your source are one in your thoughts. You have chosen to identify thoughts of resistance and have simultaneously decided to stay out of your own way. As you practice allowing and living the fate of least resistance, success is no longer something you choose. It's something that you are. Abundance no longer eludes you. You are it, and it is you. It flows unimpeded beyond your resistance. Herein lies another clue to the free flow of abundance. You must avoid becoming attached to and hoarding what shows up in your life. Abundance, detachment, and your feelings. While it's crucial for you to have a firm vibrational matchup with the all-creating abundance of intention, it's just as crucial for you to know that you can't hang on to and own any of the abundance that will be coming your way. This is because the you that would like to hang out on those and become attached to your success and your wealth is not really you. It's that troublesome ego of yours. You're not what you have and what you do. You are an infinite, divine being disguised as a successful person who has accumulated a certain amount of stuff. The stuff is not you. This is why you must avoid being attached to it in any way. Detachment comes from knowing that your true essence is a piece of infinitely divine field of intention. It's then that you become aware of importance of your feelings. Feeling good becomes much more valuable than polishing your jewelry. Feeling abundant surpasses the money in your bank account and transcends what others may think of you. Genuinely feeling abundant and successful is possible when you detach yourself from the things you desire and allow them to flow to you, and just as important, through you. Anything that inhibits the flow of energy stops the creating process of intention right where the obstacles is erected. Attachment is one such roadblock. When you hang on to that which arrives rather than allowing it to move through you, you stop the flow. You hoard it or decide to own it, and the flow is disrupted. You must keep it circulating, always knowing that nothing can stop it from coming into your life except any resistance you place in its way. Your feelings and emotions are sensational barometers for detecting resistance and evaluating your ability to experience success and abundance. Paying attention to your feelings. Your emotions are the inner experiences that tell you how much of the divine energy you are summoning for the manifestation of your desires. Feelings can be measuring tools that gauge how you're doing in the manifestation process. An exceptionally positive emotional response indicates that you are summoning the divine energy of intention and allowing the energy to flow to you in non-resistant manner. Feelings of passion, pure bliss, reverence, unmitigated optimism, unquestioned trust, and even illumination indicates that your desire to manifest success and abundance, for example, have an extremely strong pulling power from the universal source to you. You must learn to pay close attention to the presence of these feelings. These emotions aren't just facets of your life. They are empty of energy. They're agents. They are in charge of how you clean and purify the connecting link to intention. These emotions tell you precisely how much of the life force you are summoning and how much pulling power you have going for you at the moment. Abundance is the natural state of the nature of intention. Your desire for abundance must flow free of resistance. Any discrepancy between your individual intention or desire and your belief concerning the possibility of summoning it into your life creates resistance. If you want it but believe it's impossible, or that you are unworthy, or that you don't have the skills or perseverance, then you have created resistance and you are disallowing. Your feelings indicate how well you are attracting the energy necessary for the fulfillment of your desire. Strong feelings of despair, anxiety, blame, hate, fear, shame, and anger are sending you the message that you want success and abundance, but you don't believe it's possible for you. These negative feelings are your clues to get busy and balance your desires with those of the universal mind of intention, which is the only source of that which you desire. Negative emotions tell you that your pulling power from intention is weak or even non-existent. Positive emotions tell you that you are connecting to and accessing the power of intention. Concerning abundance, one of the most effective ways to increase that pulling power from intention to you is to take the focus off the dollars and place it on creating abundant friendship, security, happiness, health, and high energy. It's here that you will begin to feel those higher emotions, which let you know that you're back in the match game with the all creating source. As you focus on having abundant happiness health, security, and friendship, the means for acquiring all of this will be flowing toward you. Money is only one of those means, and the faster your vibrational energy around abundance radiates, the more money will show up in significant amounts. These positive feelings are as indicators of your pulling power for success, and abundance will put you into an active mode for co-creating your intentions. I'm not suggesting that you just wait for everything to fall into place. I am suggesting that by declaring, I intend to feel successful and attract prosperity, your emotional energy will shift and you'll act as if what you desire were already true. Your actions will be in harmony with the phases of intention, and you will be provided with what you are rather than attempting to be provided with what's missing. At this point in my life, I refuse to participate in any desire unless I have a total, non-resistant knowing that it can and will manifest into my life from the all-creating source of intention. My desires for personal indicators of abundance have all manifested by practicing what I write here and in the 10-step program that follows. I have been able to allow by removing resistance and connecting to my originating all-creating source. I trust it completely. Over the years, I have learned that when I desired something seemingly impossible, I felt poorly as a result. I then figured that I should desire less, but all that did was make me even further removed from the unlimited power of intention. I was still in vibratory disharmony with the abundance of the universe. I began to understand that my being in harmony with abundance didn't cause others to be poor or hungry. On the contrary, the abundance I created gave me the chance to help eradicate poverty and hunger. But the significant awareness was realizing that I had less of chance to help others when I was in the lower frequencies. I learned that I had to get myself into vibratory harmony with my source. One of my reasons for writing this chapter in this fashion is to convince you that you don't have to ask for less or feel guilty about wanting abundance. It's there for you and everyone in unlimited supply. I live and breathe what I'm writing here about success and abundance. I know beyond any doubt that you can attract abundance and feel successful by absorbing the messages of this chapter, which, like the abundance you seek, have flowed from the universal source through me and onto these pages. There is no discrepancy between my desire to write it out here and my willingness to allow it to flow unimpeded to you. How do I know this? My emotion in this moment is infallible bliss, serenity, and reverence. I trust this emotional state, which indicates to me that I have been utilizing a very strong pulling power to create these messages from all creating spirit of intention. I am in the vibratory harmony of abundance, and feelings of success are my intention herewith manifested. Try it on anything you would like to see flowing abundantly into your life. Making your intention your reality. Below is a 10-step program for implementing the intention of this chapter. That is to feel successful and attract abundance into your life. Step 1. See the world as an abundant, providing, friendly place. Again, When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you see the world as abundant and friendly, your intentions are genuine possibilities. They will, in fact, become a certainty because your world will be experienced from the higher frequencies. In this first step, you are receptive to a world that provides rather than restricts. You will see a world that wants you to be successful and abundant rather than one that conspires against you. Step 2. Affirm. I attract success and abundance into my life because that is who I am. This puts you into vibratory harmony with your source. Your goal is to eliminate any distance between what you desire and that from which you pull it into your life. Abundance and success aren't out there waiting to show up for you. You are already it, and the source can only provide with what it is, and consequently, what you are already. Step 3. Stay in an attitude of allowing. Resistance is disharmony between your desire for abundance and your beliefs about your ability or unworthiness. Allowing means a perfect alignment. An attitude of allowing means that you ignore efforts by others to dissuade you. It also means that you don't rely on your previous ego-oriented beliefs about abundance being a part of or not a part of your life. In an attitude of allowing, all resistance in the form of thoughts of negativity or doubt are replaced with simply knowing that you and your source are one and the same. Picture the abundance you desire freely flowing directly to you. Refuse to do anything or have any thought that compromises your alignment with Source. Step 4. Use your present moment to activate thoughts that are in harmony with the 7 phases of intention. The key phrase here is present moments. Notice right now in this moment if you're thinking that it's hopeless at this stage of your life to change the thoughts that compromise your belief system. Do you defeat yourself with thoughts of having had such a long life practicing affirmation of scarcity and creating resistance to your success and abundance that you don't have enough time left to counterbalance the thoughts that compromise your past belief system? Make the choice to let go of that lifetime of beliefs and begin activating thoughts right now that allow you to feel good. Say, I want to feel good whenever anyone tries to convince you that your desires are futile. Say, I want to feel good when you're tempted to return to low energy thoughts of disharmony with intention. Eventually, your present moments will activate thoughts that make you feel good, and this is an indicator that you are reconnecting to intention. Wanting to feel good is synonymous with wanting to feel God. Remember, God is good, and all that God created was good. Step 5. Initiate actions that support your feelings of abundance and success. Here is the key word, actions. I have been calling this acting as if or thinking from the end of acting that way. Put your body into gear that pushes you toward abundance and feeling successful. Act on those passionate emotions as if the abundance and success you seek is already here. Speak to strangers with passion in your voice. Answer the telephone in any inspired way. Do a job interview from the place of confidence and joy. Read the books that mysteriously show up and pay close attention to conversations that seem to indicate you are being called to something new. Step 6. Remember that your prosperity and success will benefit others and that no one lacks abundance because you opted for it. Once again, the supply is unlimited. The more you partake of the universal generosity, the more you will have to share it with others. In writing this book, wonderful abundance has flowed into my life in many ways. But even more significantly, book editors and graphic designers, the truck drivers who delivered the book, the auto workers who build the trucks, the farmers who feed the auto workers, the bookstore clerks, all receive abundance because I have followed my bliss and have written this book. Step 7. Monitor your emotions as a guidance system for your connection to the universal mind of intention. Strong emotions such as passion and bliss are indications that you are connected to spirit or inspired, if you will. When you are inspired, you activate dormant forces, and the abundance you seek in any form comes streaming into your life. When you are experiencing low energy emotion of rage, anger, hatred, anxiety, despair, and the like, that's clue that while your desire may be strong, they are completely out of sync with the field of intention. Remind yourself in these moments that you want to feel good and see if you can activate a thought that supports your feeling good. Step 8. Become as generous to the world with your abundance as the field of intention is to you. Don't stop the flow of abundant energy by hoarding or owning what you receive. Keep it moving. Use your prosperity in the service of others and for causes greater than your ego. The more you practice detachment, the more you will stay in vibratory harmony with the all-giving source of everything. Step 9. Devote the necessary time to meditate on the Spirit within as the source of your success and abundance. There is no substitute for the practice of meditation. This is particularly relevant with abundance. You must have an understanding that your consciousness of the presence is your supply. By repeating the sound that is in the name of God as a mantra, you are using a technique for manifesting as ancient as recorded history. I am particularly drawn to the form of meditation I mentioned previously called Yapa. I know it works. Step 10. Develop an attitude of gratitude for all that manifests in your life. Be thankful and filled with awe and appreciation even if what you desire hasn't arrived yet. Even the darkest days of your life are to be looked on with gratitude. Everything coming from the source is on purpose. Be thankful by empowering your reconnection to that from which you and everything else originated. The energy that creates worlds and universes is within you. It works through attraction and energy. Everything vibrates. Everything has a vibratory frequency. As St. Paul said, God is able to provide you with every blessing in abundance. Tune it to God's frequency and you will know it beyond any and all doubt. And of chapter 10.